ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम्। यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः। ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तन्न विदुःसुरगणाः देवाय तस्मै नमः। Open page number 7. We'll chant the verse number 1. Shri Bhagavan Idam Shariram Kaunteya Kshetramityavidhiyate Etadyo Vettitam Prahuhu Kshetrajna iti tadvidaha. So yesterday we said that in words of Vedanta we are born with ignorance, and this ignorance is not merely absence of knowledge, not merely not knowing something. This ignorance is false knowledge, meaning knowing something falsely, wrongly, incorrectly. What ignorance are we born with? We are born with ignorance of our own self. Meaning that not only we do not know what our true nature is, but we take ourselves to be quite contrary to what we truly are. What truly we are. So what is we take ourselves wrongly because we take as self what is non-self. So thus there is a division of self and non-self. In this verse that we just read, Lord Krishna says that what we call I, the individual, is in fact a complex entity. That I is made up of two entities, which in this verse Lord Krishna said Kshetra and Kshetrajna, the object and the subject. Meaning that in our life there is this error between object and subject. What is object is taken to be subject, and therefore the subject is taken to be different from what it is. So what is object? Yesterday we compared our eye with an actor having put on a costume. So we have the self here which comes with a costume. We are born with a costume. This body and mind, this in fact is costume. And there is this I or the self who has put on this costume. So Upanishad describes, as you said yesterday, that Ishvara or God or created. In the beginning of creation, Ishvara created all the different kinds of costumes and entered the costume like an actor entering a costume. Having entered the costume, unfortunately, he got identified with the costume. As you said yesterday, like an actor who is in reality a very wealthy person, puts on a costume of a beggar, let us say, and looks at himself in a big mirror and finds a beggar there in the mirror, and because of some problem inside, maybe he is intoxicated. Sometimes these people who are giving public performances, they have so much stress in their mind that they need to stimulate themselves. It's not very unusual for these people perhaps to help themselves with some drink, alcohol, etc. And sometimes if you do it out of proportion, it's possible that this fellow got intoxicated. Now he looks at himself in the mirror. Oh, there's a beggar there. I'm a beggar. Because of intoxication, this kind of a wrong notion is created in him. I'm a beggar. This is an example. Similarly, the self, the limitless one, who has put on this costume for playing the variety of roles in the world. The purpose is to play a variety of roles in the world. But in the process, he as though forgot his true nature and identified with this costume. And now he declares, I'm a man, I'm a woman, I'm a child, I'm happy, I'm unhappy, I'm good, I'm bad, I'm right, I'm wrong. All this variety of opinions and notions now he is entertaining about himself. Each one of these notions comes from this costume. So this is the existing situation in our life. And it is this, meaning this wrong notions about myself, taking myself to be a man or a woman, having birth and growth and death, having this limitation and that limitation. This is the basic reason why the sense of limitation that it creates is the primary reason for all unhappiness or sorrow in our life. Yesterday we said that effect can go when the cause is removed. If you simply keep on cutting the weeds in the garden from the surface, as long as the roots are there, so long they'll keep on coming back. Similarly, the sorrow keeps on coming in a variety of ways in our life. We are trying to remove it from the surface, but the basic cause remains inside. And therefore, sorrow simply comes in different forms. What's the basic cause? Basic cause is my false notion about myself, wrong perception about my own self. And therefore, the primary task of Vedanta is to give us the right perception about ourselves. You know what is perception? I see myself. Not with the eyes, but I see with the mind's eye. I see myself who I am. Every moment, I am a self-conscious being, conscious of myself as to who I am. Thus, every moment I am entertaining a perception or opinion or judgment about myself. And in every judgment, every perception can be reduced to one simple thing: I am limited. When I say I am wealthy, still the idea of limitedness never leaves me. In every opinion about myself that I am great, I am successful, I am wealthy, I am powerful. You may think that it's nice to think like that, but in all of these perceptions also, the idea is that I am limited, that never goes. Meaning that I am powerful, all right, but then limited powerful. I am wealthy, all right, but limited wealthy. That limited fellow simply changes variety of costumes, but he always remains. Swamiji, I'm a wealthy person. Where is the limitation? I can get whatever I want. All right, you can get whatever you want. But as a billionaire or a multi-billionaire or whatever you are you satisfied with yourself? The basic question that we have to ask ourselves is, am I satisfied with myself? Am I happy with myself? That's all that we need in our life. What? Just to be happy with ourselves. If you have done it, you achieved the goal of life. Vedanta says, goal is very simple, just to be happy with myself. Swamiji, I'm happy with myself. What about my spouse? What about my children? What about my neighbor? What about my boss? If I'm happy with myself, I will have no problem with anybody else. If I feel that I'm happy, I'm good, everybody will look good. Meaning that Vedanta teaches that in order to be happy, all you need is to discover happiness with yourself. In order to love the world, you just need to love yourself. One entity which we don't love is our own self. We are very critical of ourselves, very demanding of ourselves, and more often than not, I find that I am not able to live up to my own expectation of myself, and therefore I usually disapprove of myself, fail myself. I am a very strict judge of myself. I recently heard Swamiji, these are, what do they call them? What kind of moms they say? Huh? Huh?
What are you asking?
All right.
Power?
Tiger mom.
Helicopter parent.
Helicopter. So tiger mom, let us say. But I am tiger to myself, I am tiger mom to myself. When I am like a tiger to others, understand that first I am tiger to myself. When I am demanding of others, understand that I am first demanding of myself. When I am complaining of others, first I am complaining of myself. All my complaints, all my demands, all my bossing, whatever I do outside, it all is a result of what I am first doing to myself. I am not very kind to myself. I am not very forgiving of myself. And therefore, I find it very difficult to love myself. That is the reason why I want the world to love me constantly. I want, please love me. So whenever I make demand upon you, do this, don't do that, I may be coming out as a very demanding person, but inside is a beggar, is a poor fellow who wants your favor, who wants your love. When you sit down, if you sit down, I feel that I am loved by you. Wear this and you wear it, I think. So, thus a very needy person I find myself to be. As long as I am needy, I cannot be happy. Vedanta says that all this need is not your nature. It is something that is created by you because of your wrong perception about yourself. This problem of not being able to love myself, this problem of not being able to be comfortable with myself, not being able to be happy with myself, all this can be solved if I see who I am truly I am. Remove that costume. That's what Vedanta teaches. Therefore Lord Krishna says, Idam Shriram Kaunteya Kshetram Iti Abhidhiyate. Hey Kaunteya, hey Arjuna, this is your costume. This is Kshetram. This is object. This is costume. That's not what you are. So the complex entity made up of two entities, etadyo veti, one is a knower, other is known, one is a subject, other is object. Thus what I call I is a union of these two entities, subject and object. We have lumped them together and therefore whatever limitations of the costume are, they have as though become my limitations. We'll have an opportunity to explore this more in later verses also. But here we just wanted you to understand how Vedanta explains to us what our basic problem is and gives us the solution to that basic problem. There is no problem in our life except, as I said, I am unhappy. With whom? With myself. As a human being, as a self-conscious human being, my basic problem is I am unhappy with myself, not accepting of myself, because I find myself a limited being and I cannot accept a limited self. I want to be free from every limitation. I want to see myself as a perfect being. You know what is my expectation of myself? I must be perfect. I must be efficient. I must be right. I must know. I must be in control. That's my expectation of myself. When I'm not in control, I get frustrated. When I'm not right, I'm not happy. When I'm not when I'm not knowing all, unhappy. It takes nothing to make me unhappy with myself because my expectations are so great. And more I try to satisfy my expectation of myself, my expectation goes up, unfortunately. So when I'm not even passing the examination, I'm happy with just passing, then I want 10th rank, then I want 5th rank, then I want 2nd rank, then I want 1st rank, then I want first in all classes, then in the board, and thus I will drive myself, to what? Keep on, who drives me? I am driving myself. They think the world is driving me, the government, the market is driving me, my boss is driving me. I am driving myself. If I do not drive myself, nobody can drive me. If I do not make myself unhappy, nobody can make me unhappy. If I do not reject me, nobody can reject me. This is what Vedanta teaches. Very simple thing. So sage Yajnavalkya says, hey Maitreyi, when you know yourself, you know everything. When you love yourself, you will love everybody. When you attain yourself, you attain everything. What a simple solution. We already taken ourselves for granted, and we go everywhere in the whole world in variety of things to solve our problems. Where the problem exists, nobody pays attention to that. I think no tradition in the world pays attention to that as Vedanta does. I can very proudly say that nobody can provide a simple solution that Vedanta provides. It is basically a problem of wrong understanding or wrong perception, and the solution is right understanding, right perception. They call it knowledge. What is knowledge? Right perception, right understanding. That's all you need. All right, I'm not this costume, I'm not this body. You know what happens? Moment I call myself body, then all limitations of the body become my limitations. The body was born, I say, I was born. The body is young, I am young. Body is old, I am old. Body is dying, I am dying. Each one of these conclusions is accompanied with unhappiness. Our Swamiji says that every part of the body creates a complex. When I am the body, from tip to the toe, complex begins from here. Do I have hair or do I not have hair? If I have, are these curly hairs or straight hair? Are they dark or are they black or they are what it is, Beginning from there. To my eyes, to my eyelashes, eyes, nose, lips, belly, height, weight, everything is a problem. Whole life I'm struggling. 3 hours a day I spend in my gym. My stomach must be flat, my this must be that. It's one thing to have good health, nothing wrong, that's good. It's other thing that I'm doing those things because of the complexes. To have good health is a great thing. But I must look like this, I must not look that. Now this is a cause of misery. Same thing about the mind. Mind also is an instrument with which I work. It's given to me. It's a very great gift. Human body is a great gift. So human mind is a great gift with which I can do what? A human mind has done wonders. But I am quite capable of making that mind also a cause of my misery. I convert everything or I make everything a cause of misery. That's my creativity. You get married, spouse can be made cause of misery. Children, they can become cause of misery. Anybody can become cause of misery. Why should I go out my own mind? And 2 things I will tell you among many complexes. One is the hurt, other is the guilt. 2 big problems we have, hurt and guilt. Typical human problems. Dogs and cats and cows and buffaloes have no hurt and no guilt, really. A cat has no guilt. It can make a mouse its breakfast with no guilt at all. It can go on the mouse, 3rd mouse, and no hurt. You hit a dog with a stick, for a moment it will protest, he will forget it. But then he remembers, next day he had hit me, let me see, he plans and then he waits for me. As soon as I'm passing by, he'll come from behind and bite me. That kind of premeditated stuff is not there. Just to give you an example of what is meant by freedom from stress and anxieties and hurt and guilt. As our Swami says, give him a human mind and that all problems are there. Other creatures have a mind, but not a human mind, which is always judging and concluding and having complexes. So among the many problems that I have, because of taking the mind to be myself, they are hurt and guilt. I brand myself either a victim or a villain. So I keep branding myself victim. When you do something to me, if my opinion is that you did not treat me rightly, did not respect me, did not honor me, did not acknowledge me, I look upon your behavior to me as an insult, as a dishonor, disrespect, I am a victim, I am hurt. And if I treat you that way, I said something which hurt your feelings, later I regret, I brand myself a villain. Villain means guilt, victim means hurt. Would you believe that these are all problems created by us on account of identifying with our mind? Mind does everything. And I say, I am doing it. So that is how, once what is the true nature of myself becomes clear, all of these things just disappear because they are all created. If I was really a villain and I suffer from a sense of villainness, and this is right, understandable. If I was really a victim, then justification of hurt is, hurt is justified. But I am not villain, I am not victim. Can you imagine if you see yourself as free from being a villain, free from being a victim, free from being born, free from death, free from all anxieties, free from, what else do you want? What else do you want in life? People think that Swamiji, I should have some, moksha means I should have some powers. As I said yesterday, I should fly in the air. Suppose you do, so what? Suppose I get all those powers, flying in the air. Swami, can you read my mind? As I told you earlier, our Bada Swamiji, was once somebody asked him, Swamiji, do you know what's going on in my mind? He said, I have enough problems with my mind, why should I worry about your mind? Meaning that all those so-called siddhis or powers are they all very, this is all romantic stuff. When you have it, you find that it's not an easy thing to hold on to it or to, and so it is best to be just a very simple person. And Vedanta says that you are so simple that there is no weight of any kind, free from all burden. That's what I am. I have to discover that fact, see that fact, see that fact. So Lord Krishna says, hey Arjuna, this body, mind, all of these are costume. True, they are meant to be limited. You are trying to make them limitless, trying to make the body strong and mind this and that. Keep on stuffing so much information in your intellect, that I know it all. And this is a losing game, you can never do it. You can never become infinite level of body or the mind or intellect or any accomplishment, nothing, whatever. You become a trillionaire or you become whatever, you become the, king, president of the whole earth, suppose there is such a post. There is a verse, old verse in Sanskrit which says, Nisvo hekashatam shati dasashatam laksham sahasradipah. So a person does not have niswaha, fellow who doesn't have any money. Eka shatam, all he wants is 100 rupees, then that's all I need. Those days, this is centuries ago, 100 rupees was a lot of money that time. Just wants 100 rupees. Give him 100 rupees. Go to him after 6 months. Are you happy? Shati dasha shatam. One is 100, wants 1,000 rupees. Give him 1,000 rupees. Laksham sahasradipah. One is 1,000 rupees, just wants 1,00,000 of rupees. Those days, lakh means billion, those days. In the town, the person with 1,00,000 of rupees was the Nagarpati, Nagar Sheth. They used to have a flag on his house. Maybe he is the wealthiest person. Okay. So you accomplished whatever you want in terms of wealth. Are you happy now? Lakshesha Kshidipalatam. Lakshesha means one who has this wealth, wealthy person. Now he wants to become a king. Now he wants power. Lakshesha Kshidipati means a king. Lakshesha Kshidipalatam. A wealthy person now wants power. He wants to be king. Make him a king. Kshidipati Chakre Shavat Sampadam. He is king of one country. Are you happy now? No, I want to rule the whole earth. It's called Chakresha. He wants to be sovereign. Make him a sovereign. Chakresha Punarindradam. Sovereign of the whole earth now wants to be what? He wants to be Indra. He wants to be God, a king of gods. Okay, make him Indra. Suppose you had these powers to make him whatever he wants. Surapati Brahmaspadam Vanchati. Indra, the king of all the gods, wants to be Brahma, the creator. Brahma Vishnu Padam. Brahma wants to be Vishnu. Hari Harapadam. He wants to be Hara. Trishnavadim Kogataha. Who can ever find the limit of Trishna or a craving? The craving keeps on growing because you are trying to get satisfaction from what is basically limited, and therefore you cannot. The way the human being is trying to get satisfaction or success is a wrong way to do. Nothing wrong in what we are doing, is what we are expecting from what we are doing. Swami, you are all against progress? No. We just want to live intelligently, and we should know what is everything has its use, and you should have everything has its place. We should give the right place to everything. But as far as being happy is concerned, this is not the solution. Solution is in discovering the fact that happiness is my nature. I already am what I am seeking to be. All right. I am not this body, I am not the mind, I am the conscious being. Is that all that I have to know about myself? Lord Krishna says, no, you should know something more about yourself. The second verse says that. Let us read that. Kshetrajñam chapi mam vidhi सर्वक्षेत्रेषु भारत क्षेत्रक्षेत्रज्ञयोर् ज्ञानम् यत्तज्ज्ञानं मतं मम. See, in this discussion, all technicalities are avoided. Some of you who are attending Vedanta classes for years says, but I know what we are talking about and why we are talking about in the way we are talking about. Is even though we are not discussing any technicalities, I did not even give kshetram, janadi kshetra. There are so many things we can say about this, that's okay. But what needs these verses? In what way can they help us in contemplating about ourselves and solving our basic problem? This is how we are discussing these verses. If you want to know all technicalities, our Vijayji is here, so his classes are there. Here we are chosen. And Swami, did I know? Well, I would question if you know. Meaning that even though what we are talking appears very simple, sometimes the simple things are not that easy or that not clear to us. What is important is the clarity of understanding. And this is what we are attempting to do here. So deliberately the discussion as far as technicality is concerned is simplified. But what the verse wants to convey, that very vision or understanding definitely is provided here. So that we spend less time on technicality and more time on what is the useful part of it. So then next question is, okay, so now I know the body I am not because I am this here. So as Shankaracharya says in his very famous work, Mano buddhi ahankara chittaninaham nacha shrotra jikhve nacha ghranetre nacha vyom bhumir na tejo na vayu chidananda rupa shivoham shivoham. He says, the mind, intellect I am not. Because I know the emotions of the mind, I am aware of that. The thoughts of the intellect, I am aware of that. My memory, I am aware of that. What I am different from what I am aware of. Yesterday we said that this clock is the object of my knowledge. I am the knower. The knower is different from the object of knowledge. So am I not aware of my thoughts? If I pay attention, usually often we don't, so we become our thoughts. But if we pay attention, we are aware of what our emotions are. I'm not feeling so good. I'm feeling very happy this morning. I know happiness is my emotion. Not feeling so good. We are aware of our emotions, aware of our thoughts, aware of our memory or lack of memory. We are aware. So it does not matter what the emotion is, as long as you are aware that emotion is something that is I am aware of. I am different from emotion, different from memory, different from thought. Then nacha shrotra jikhve nacha ghranetre. The organs of perception are given to me for performing, for gaining the variety of information, knowledge. They are my instruments. Like I use my telephone for the contacting the world, all the different telephones are given to me in order to interact with the world. So I receive all the stimuli through organs of perception and I produce the stimuli through organs of action. 5 organs of perception, 5 organs of action. Speech is one of the organs of action. Hands is another one. Legs are another one, with which I respond. So in our interaction with the world, we receive stimuli from the world through what we call the organs of perception. Hearing, seeing, tasting, touching, smelling. I receive the stimuli. I produce the stimuli by speech, by hands, by legs. So these are, now can you say that this cell phone I am, or that iPad I am, or the computer, these are all my instruments with which I do things. The one who uses them is different from them, so my mind also is like computer, I am using it. My organs of perception also are like telephones, organs of actions are all other tools with which I interact. All this wonderful infrastructure is given to me for functioning in the world. Do it, enjoy it. But what happens? I become them, that's the problem. I am that knower, I am not that. Nacha vyom bhumir, na tejo na vayu. The 5 elements I am not, the body made of 5 elements I am not. Then who are you? Chidananda rupa, shivoham, shivoham. I am Chit, I am consciousness. I am Shiva, I am auspicious. I am Ananda, I am complete, I am whole. There's the first lesson in the first verse. Vedanta teaches that there is one more dimension to you than even that. Yes, you are different from, you are consciousness. You are Shiva, means you are auspicious. You are ever pure, ever tranquil. But you are more than that. Lord Krishna says, Kshetrajnam chabimam viddi sarvakshetreshu bharata. The next beautiful thing is that self, that consciousness, that ever pure, ever tranquil, ever free, ever full, that self that I am is the self that you are. I am the self in all. Kshetrajnam chapimam viddi sarvakshetreshu bharata. Hey Bharata, hey Arjuna, know that I am the Kshetrajna, I am the self in all the beings. So two problems. One is looking upon myself as a limited being. Secondly, looking upon myself as separate from you. Both of these create problems. That you exclude me, I exclude you. What you are, I am not. What I am, you are not. You are separate, I am separate. That creates in me a sense of isolation, a sense of being excluded. Lord Krishna says, no reason to feel that. Yes, there are differences, no doubt. Where are the differences? Costumes are all different, no doubt about that. Costume that you have is different from costume that I have. So that body, that mind, that intellect is different from this body, mind, intellect, no doubt about that. And that's the beauty of creation, that there is a diversity. But in diversity, there is a unity also. Lord Krishna says, I am like a thread. So imagine a necklace, a pearl necklace. All the pearls are held together by a thread. Lord Krishna says, I am like the thread in which all the names and forms are strung together. That thread is the self, the consciousness is one thread that sustains everything, supports everything. I am not only the self of this one costume, I am the self in all the costumes. Meaning that essentially what you are is what I am, and therefore we are not different from each other. See, the practical application is, in any relationship, the subtler the level at which we are related, more lasting the relationship is. Between two persons, even two spouses, if the relationship is merely confined to just the physical body, it will go on for a period of time, and then you find that because body keeps on changing and so forth, more highly changing things, that relationship cannot be a very sustained relationship. So people want compatibility, so you want to meet each other, know each other, body is all right, but what are your thoughts? What do you think about this? What do you think about that? You want to know each other. So intellectual thoughts. So there also you can relate yourself at that level, subtler than the body, then the relationship will be more sustained. Go a step further, at emotional level. Then if we relate to each other at the emotional level, where there is love, where I respect you, I accept you, I accommodate you. I know that I am a limited being, you are also a limited being, it's quite alright. That just as I gracefully accept my limitations, I gracefully accept your limitations, and thus if I can relate to the person at a deeper emotional level, that's even more lasting relationship. But there is something deeper than that. If I can relate with you at the deepest level, that consciousness that I am is the consciousness that you are, it is the lasting relationship. Very practical. Vedanta teaches us what our inherent nature is and where should we be coming from. Where am I coming from? Am I coming from this body only? Am I coming from just my thoughts? Am I coming from my emotions or am I coming from myself? We have all this potential to explore about ourselves and thus know ourselves as truly what we are. That's what truly you are. And if you relate at that level, that the consciousness that I am is a consciousness that you are, it is immortal. Consciousness has no birth, no death, ever there. That is the everlasting relationship. Even to get satisfaction from the day-to-day life, this teaching is extremely practical. Kshetrajnam chapimam vidhi sarvakshetreshu bharata. How beautiful it is. Hey Arjuna, costume does not matter. Just let it go. There are differences, no doubt about that, between you and others. There are differences. As many as you can count, whatever differences you want to. My nose is different, your nose is different. Everything is different. My mind is different. My emotions are different. My thoughts are different. Yeah. These differences need not necessarily divide us. Because inherently, what you are, the one who is wearing this costume is the one that is wearing that costume. Recognize him. Recognize yourself first who you are. In you, there is a changing element and there is an element that does not change. Recognize that you are a combination of two, a changing and an unchanging element. That yes, the body is constantly changing. It is its nature. The mind is changing. It is its nature. The emotions, the thoughts, all of these are changing because that's the nature. Even ego also is changing. But in all this welter of change, there is something that does not change. Because the rule is that the change is always sustained by unchanging. Just as a wheel which is rotating is sustained by an axis that does not rotate. Similarly, all this changing personality, what's going on in you, all of this is sustained by that which does not change. So what is my identity? How do I identify myself with? How do I recognize, what is my true identity? Is a changing aspect my identity or that which does not change? There is something in you that does not change. What is it? See, whenever I declare myself, I'm a man, I'm a woman, I'm happy, I'm unhappy, I'm good, I'm not good, I'm right, I'm not right. In all these things, there are, in every statement, there is a changing part and there is a non-changing part. I'm right, I'm wrong, I'm good, I'm bad. In all of this, the right, wrong, good, bad, this, that keeps on changing. What does not change? I am. Doesn't change, not. As Lord Krishna says, all the pearls are sustained by the thread. That I am is a thread that keeps on sustaining. Right, wrong, good, bad, all of this belongs where? To the changing aspect of me. I am belongs to that which does not change. That I am is self-revealing. I am means Sat, revealing means Chit, and the Sat-Chit has no shape, no form, no boundary. That boundless I am, that is Purnaha, or full, or Ananda I am, Sat-Chit Ananda. Asti Bhati Priyam, I am, I shine, I always love myself. That being, shining love is unchanging, never changes about myself. So where should I pay attention? All the time paying attention to the changing aspect of myself and judging what I am, that's not only a thing about you. What is real about you is what does not change. Identify yourself with that. Kshetrajnam chapimam vidhi sarvakshetreshu bharata. Once you recognize that, then no problem. Let them come in the costume. You don't have to remove the costume. You just must know what the characteristics are. When we go to watch a movie, we go to movie because there is a favorite actor there or actress, or, whom we go to watch. They come in variety of roles, don't they? And sometimes they dress in such a manner that it's very hard to recognize. But the experts always recognize what that actor is. My nephew, little one, always recognizes. I make mistakes when he takes me to a movie. Says, Swami, he's not a beggar. He is Amitabh Bachchan. Look at him properly. He can recognize Amitabh Bachchan from his eyes, That's all he needs, this little one. He is a wise person, a jnani, as far as that is concerned. Because regardless of what costume he wears, he cannot hide certain things. Some basic features cannot be hidden. He cannot hide his eyes, the shape of the head, or no, some things cannot be hidden, the lips. That is enough. Similarly, regardless of what costume you wear, you cannot hide that you are Asti, Bhati, Priyam, Sat, Chit. You cannot hide that. So where should I pay attention? What is important about me? What is important about you? Is the costume important? What is changing is important? Or the one who wears the costume, that is important. What does not change is what is important? We give importance only to change. I am this and you are that, and that we make it an issue. That's the issue. That's the basis of all our life and relationship. Reduce everything to what does not change and disregard what is changing. Vedanta says that costume is mithya. What is mithya? Is coming and going, incidental. There is something inherent and something incidental. The actor is inherent. The costumes are incidental. Come and go. All costume is incidental, not very important. One that wears a costume, that is inherent, that is important. So when you see, when we recognize our favorite actor in any particular role, something happens in our mind. You know what happens? In our mind, we subtract, we let go of that costume. And in our mind's eye, see the actor. With these eyes, we see the beggar. In the mind's eye, I see the actor. When my son is performing in his annual program in the school or in our Gurukulam, all parents are watching our cultural programs at the end of those children's program. And my son has become, a gatekeeper, this fellow has become a soldier, this fellow has become a king. I don't see a soldier there, I see my son. I don't say gatekeeper, I see my son. That's called viveka, discrimination. Automatically, what is incidental is excluded or is subtracted, and what is inherent is what is appreciated. Is it not so? So we know how to do that. When we know the characteristics, I know what my son looks like, and therefore what is not that automatically goes out of my mind and appreciate my son. That's all we need to do. What is all costume? This body is a costume, mind is all personality is costume. Don't give importance to that. What is inherent? Asti, Bhati, Priyam, Sat, Chit, Ananda. That is the unchanging substratum upon which all this play is going on. So Lord Krishna tells us how to look at the thing ourselves first. And when we know how to look at ourselves, we'll know how to look at everybody else. Change your perception, where to pay attention, where to focus attention, what is important, what is not important, and therefore it's called viveka, discrimination. Let go of what is not important. Knows when he looks like that, let go. Talks like that, let go. Nothing is important. What is important? That he is or she is. A conscious being shines. The nature of love, nature of happiness, nature of existence, nature of awareness. What else do you want? That's all that we need really. We don't need anything else. We don't need the looks, we don't need height, we don't need weight, we don't need anything. Even though we think that that's what we need, we don't. All we need is this. Asti bhati priyam. That is sufficient to satisfy all our needs. It's basically the need arising from ignorance is satisfied by this understanding, this knowledge, this perception. So Vedanta gives us the basic perception about ourselves and automatically perception about whatever there is. Not only human being, whatever there is asti bhati priyam, is nothing but manifestation of Ishvara. So let us look at the verse number 5. We'll come to the middle verses a little later. On the page number 9, verse number 5. Jneyam yattat pravakshyami yajñātvāmrutam anādimat param brahma na sattanna saduchyate. Jneyam. See the translation? Jneyam. That which is to be known. Jneyam means that which is to be known. There is something to be known. Pravakshyami. I will now tell you clearly about that which is to be known, which has to be known. So Lord Krishna says there is something about ourselves. There is something about our life which has to be known. Without which knowledge, whatever else we do does not ever, complete the equation. Something is always missing and something is lacking. Somehow it doesn't add up in our life. Because of what we accomplish in our life, somehow something does not add up. It's not enough. Because we are missing an important thing. Jneyam, Arjuna, understand that this is something that you have to know. Without knowing which, there is no happiness. So, the next sentence is, Yajñātvā amrutamasnute, knowing which one attains immortality. You heard about amrutam. Amrutam is ambrosia. Amrutam in the heaven, all the gods or devatas, they partake of amrutam, ambrosia, and become immortal. So that is what is said. Whether that ambrosia is there or not, we don't know. It's there in the books. But this is in our life. There is an ambrosia, an immortal in our life. Yajñātva, knowing which one becomes immortal. Something to be noted here. Yajñātva, knowing which amrutam asnute. Asnute, one attains. Amrutam, ambrosia, immortal. See, mrutam. Mrutam means death. Amrutam, deathlessness. Immortality. Means what? Freedom from time. Freedom from limitation of time. Death means limitation in time. Freedom from death means freedom from limitation of time. Means limitation of place. Means limitation of attributes. Means limitation of everything. Limitless freedom from all limitations. Here Arjuna, Yajñātva amrutamasnute, knowing which you become free from all limitations. Knowing which you gain immortality. Knowing which you gain ambrosia. Knowing which you gain ananda, happiness. What? Limitless happiness is what you get. Knowing which. Now, is it our experience that we get happiness by knowing something? You get happiness when you experience something, when you get something. It's nice to know that there is Hawaii or there is some Bali, some place. That's all right. When I go there and when I see that place and experiencing, that's when happiness comes, isn't it so? Swamiji, Gujaratis make very nice shikhand, that's nice to know, but only when you eat it, then you get the happiness. So usually happiness comes by some experience, by achieving something, acquiring something. Here Lord Krishna says, knowing something you get happiness. Knowing something. We'll remind you of our famous story of how knowing can give us happiness. You know the story of the 10th man. You must have, every time he must hear from me also. Because there may be somebody here, who knows, who has not heard, Sometimes people say, I have not heard the 10th man. Even if they have heard, sometimes they have not. They want me to tell again, So here is a group of children in a village. And they wanted to go for a picnic. So they went to the elder in the village to seek his permission so that they can go for picnic. Those days you always needed the permission from the elders, then only you could do something. They went. Says, sir, tomorrow we are going to go for a picnic. Can we go? It's all right. Provided one of you takes the responsibility of bringing everybody safe and sound. Somebody volunteered, I will take the responsibility. Okay, children, let me know how many you are. Stand before me, let me count you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There are 10 of you. Your responsibility, you must bring them all back safely, okay? I will do that. So 10 fellows, next morning, set out for their picnic and, very happy, jumping in with joy. They're running and in between they encounter one river. They all raised in village, they knew, swimming, and they all swam across, reached the other bank of the river. But before proceeding further, this so-called leader, he thought, let me verify if all of us have reached safely before we proceed further. So he wanted to verify. How do we verify? By counting them. How do we count them? By making them stand, stand in line, count them. Says, come on fellows, stand in line, let me count you. He had seen the previous evening how the old person had counted them. Same way he repeated, stand in line. He counted. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9? This 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Again 9. He counted in a variety of ways. Every time the answer is 9. He invites his friend, you please come forward. And you count, maybe I am making a mistake. His friend, they were all in the same school, so he also came, counted the same way. Each one of them came one by one, and everybody's count was 9. Now they are all convinced that the 10th boy is lost. Nobody even bothers to ask how did he look like. The 10th boy is lost. That's it. Now they are all worried. What? They will ask me, where are you? Where is the 10th man? They cannot proceed further. They have to search for the 10th man. They divide themselves, search parties, and they search for the whole day in water, on the banks. And they say, I saw somebody on the hill and I saw somebody in the temple. The whole day the news went on. But they could not find the 10th man. In the evening they came back to this bank of the river, sitting under a tree, all very sad, not knowing what to do. Fortunately, another older person happened to pass by, so the children are so sad. Say, what's the matter, children? Why are you so sad? Then the leader stands up and says, we were 10 when we left, Now there remain 9. How do you determine your 9? Count it. Show me how you count. Again, he asked you to line up. Counted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 9. Okay, children, no problem. No, I know where the 10th man is. So first of all, 80% of their worries is gone. That there is a 10th man, thank God. But still, where is he? Where is he? Have you seen him? I have seen him. So they thought he has seen him someplace. Where is he? I'll show you. Count again. Now be careful. Count carefully. 1, 2, 3, 4. See, he was able to inspire confidence in them. Now they all had Shraddha in that. He knows what he's talking about. Shraddha, Bhakti, Then he counted again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Where is the 10th man? You are the 10th man. I am the 10th man. The tube light happened in his mind. I am the 10th man. Great joy. The knowledge gives joy. Here in this particular case, there is a very unique situation where knowledge itself gives joy. You don't need anything else. Not in every situation. In this particular situation, where knowledge gives you joy. That hey, what we are searching for, I was myself. When the whole day they were searching for the 10th man, who were they searching for? Their own self. Poor human being is searching for success everywhere, happiness everywhere, love everywhere. What is he searching for? His own self. How can you find it? Yajñātva amrutamasnude, knowing which you gain happiness. This particular kind of knowledge. I am the 10th man. Similarly, Arjuna, you are what you have said. That jnayam, that which is to be known is you, not somebody else is to be known. Yajñātva amrutamasnude, knowing which one gains immortality, happiness. What happiness? Sustained happiness, lasting happiness. You can call it happiness, call it success, call it peace, call it silence, call it love, call it what you will. Different people give different names. I want love, I want peace, I want this. Same thing. That's what you are. What's your name? Anadimat. Next line is Anadimat Param Brahma Nasattanna Saduchyate. Anadimat, beginningless. Param Brahma. Param means limitless. Brahman. Whole, complete. That, who are you? The self that is beginningless, endless, free from limitation of time. You are Brahman, you are whole, you are complete. Param, you are supreme, you are limitless. Nasattanna sadu, you are neither sat nor asat. This sat and asat are this. Your costume is sat and asat. You are not sat and asat. So now in next verse, Lord Krishna says how this you also here, he says you are Brahm, Param Brahma you are. And how you are the self of all? So next verse is how you, Param Brahma alone, is manifesting as all this living being, the whole universe. In what sense? So let us read the verse number 6. Sarvatah panipadam tata sarvatokshishiro mukham sarvatah shrutimaloke sarvamavritya tishtati. So Lord Krishna says that, even though Lord Krishna uses the third person, that, it's not third person, it is first person, meaning you. Sarvatah panipadam. What is your dimension? You are the one manifesting through all the pani, all the hands and legs. Sarvatokshishiro mukham, through all the eyes and all the mouths and all the ears. Sarvata Shrutimaloke, hearing through all the ears, seeing through all the eyes, working through all the hands, walking through all the legs. One without the legs is walking through all the legs. One without the eyes, seeing through all the eyes. One without beggarliness, functions through beggarly, costume. One who is non-king, talking about an actor and a costume. One is non-beggar, is seen as a beggar, manifests through beggar. A non-king manifests through king. Similarly, the one in all diversity, there is just one. You can call it one self, one God, one Brahman, one consciousness, one whatever name you want to give. Different traditions give different names. It doesn't matter what the name is. So Lord Krishna is Gneyam Yattat Pravaksham, that which is to be known, whichever name you give. Because no name can ever describe it anyway. No name or no word is adequate to really describe the limitless. Nevertheless, we use the words in order to help us. The words also ultimately are only aids, which also is dropped. Like a walled pole. You take a pole and you lift yourself to the height of 6 feet, drop it and cross all words, whether it is Brahman, it is Krishna, it is Rama, it is Shiva, it is Christ, it is this, that, whatever word. Tat pravakshami. I'll tell you whether they know the true meaning of those words or not. But here, whatever, because that's what a human being wants. Sarvatah Panipat. Arjuna, look at your dimension. Through all the hands you are acting, through all the eyes you are seeing, through all the ears you are hearing, through all the legs you are walking. Sarvendriya Gunavasam, Sarvendriya Vivarjitam, one functioning through all the sense organs. Without being confined, functioning through all the costumes, without being confined to any costume. Normally it is one actor wearing one costume, is one actor wearing all costumes. Showing thereby the identity between the individual and the total. All there is just one. Sarvam Khalvidam Brahma, what there is one Brahman. Or, in the word of Swamiji, what there is Ishvara. Or what there is God. What there is Brahman. In this form, in that form, in this form, any form. Even mosquitoes, even whatever. All different, they are only costume. Between myself and mosquito, what's the difference? Costume? Whether it's an ant, or a mosquito, or an elephant, or a tiger, or a god, or a demon. Doesn't matter what it is, what the cost, all the different names of costumes. We are stuck with the costumes. We are engrossed in the costumes, preoccupied with the costumes, stuck at that level. Vedanta teaches that, understand, costume is not important. What is important is the one wearing the costume. It is true that to be able to do that, we do require a certain disposition of mind. So with this, we also do cultivate the disposition of mind. So those two verses we skipped this evening, we'll take up tomorrow to see how, last year in fact we discussed those things, what we call the values, but this year also included 2 verses. We'll get a glimpse of what kind of preparation of mind is needed in order to assimilate this knowledge. For us to become a reality, so not only we need to understand, we need to grow also, and for that Lord Krishna prescribes certain values and attitudes which we will continue tomorrow. This evening we are closing 10 minutes early, that's what I was told to do, because our Vijayji wants to communicate with you for 10 minutes. So we are stopping here and we'll continue tomorrow. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.